the idea for us is that, once we get really good at growing a half-acre onions, we're going to try to find a place to grow 5 acres onions. Because if we can do a half-acre really, really, really well, and we get all of our systems down, then we can think about doing 5 acres onions, or something like that, potatoes, whatever. The big crop that we can't do very well right now, can't do it very well, but we can't use a bagger, is the carrots, because those things, there's something called a carrot aligner that we have to figure out what it is, and then figure out how to make one that will actually make all the carrots point down, so they'll ride up, up something, and then into bags. But it seems like onions, like everybody eats onions, like, or 98%. There's the odd person who just doesn't eat onions, but most people eat lots of onions. So that's the only thing that's easy about onions, is that everybody eats them. Everything else is kind of a pain. But onions and potatoes are like the big crops that we can sell a lot. It's like, yeah, we can sell some beets. Beets actually make really good money on beets because they're really fast to harvest. You pop them with the popper. They go through all the stuff really quickly. But not a lot of people eat beets. At least not like they eat potatoes or onions. Carrots a little bit more. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. Is how can trying to figure out how can we sell a lot of stuff? And what do people want a lot of? What can we grow?
How about garlic?
Garlic is something that it's a whole other kind of array. And the thing with garlic is that you have everything tied up in your seed. The cost of seed in an acre of garlic is probably 10 grand. And so if you so in theory you keep your seed, right? And you're good. But you get a year that you have a bad crop of garlic, not only do you not make your money, but then you're out of your seed. And garlic seems like there's a lot of people doing a really good job with garlic. We have a woman who's bringing us garlic right now. It's beautiful. She's actually going to be using some of this equipment. She'll use the brusher, she'll use the bagger, and she can sell it for a reasonable price to us. And she has a ton of it, so we're going to be shipping shallots, yellow carrots, yellow golden beets, choco beets, probably some fingerling potatoes down to Massachusetts in a few weeks, and she'll probably put 500 pounds of garlic on that whole thing. So let's just let her do that.
Right.
Now, what I would really like to do here is grow 12 things. Maybe not 12, maybe 9. Just enough so that actually biologically the farm works well.
Right.
But it would be better for us to be really focused. This is the kind of land where if you do a really good job as far as you nail everything, and as far as water, fertility, all that kind of stuff, it can be really, really productive. You're incredibly productive. Excuse me?
What are the 12?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, I see.
But if you miss little things, if you don't do a good job with fertilizer or water rate, it can be really, really bad. So it's we want to be able to do bigger blocks of things, so it's worth it to go out and just put in that fertilizer just the right time, so we can always water at just the right time, so that we can get the kind of yields that we can get, so that we can be competitive.
Right.
And because the truth is, we have a huge wholesale account, the food bank essentially, $30,000 a year account. But even that, we're doing broccoli right now for those guys. It's this is a pain to get out there and water this broccoli. It's a little bit of broccoli, and you set up the water in your arms. It's so stressed in this heat. It's I wish the whole field was broccoli. Because then it would be really worth it to get out there, set up the irrigation, do all that kind of stuff. Get out, if I'm going to get set up to go spray for cabbage leaf, I want to have a half-acre of cabbage, not those 100 feet that I keep I got other things to do, because there's always something else.
Right. Okay.
So a lot of people feel that's the idea with the small farm, is you grow a little bit of everything, and that's the idea. Excuse me? What?
Sorry.
Now, I think that really the future of the small farm is kind of being more concentrating on doing things, a few things better. I just don't think, I think that price is going to become much more of an issue for food, in my lifetime.
In what direction?
People are not going to want to pay as much for food. The economy is kind of going down the tubes. And if you really want to grow the market, I think that being efficient and doing things for a little bit less is kind of like where it's at. I mean, I see that with wholesaling. It's like, well, if I'm trying to sell my onions at a wholesale price of $2 a pound, it's like, yeah, we can sell them in this valley here. If I try to go to the city market with that, no, I got to be able to do it for like $1. But if I do it for $1, well, then I can sell pallets, instead of 50 pounds a week.
Yeah.
And that works better into like what I want to do here. If we're going to grow a half acre, well, we want to sell pallets. It just seems like that's just the way that it's going to go.
How much is under cultivation right now?
3 acres, a little bit under 3 acres, a little bit over 3 acres. Yeah. And it's just not going to be. We can only do about 4.5 here. I think it really has to be something that's going to perpetuate itself.
Right.
That's one of the reasons for that greenhouse array that's over there. This movable greenhouse, because that really amplifies that acre. That makes that into something that's going to be so much more productive. We're going to be doing a lot of things. Like right over there, those flats by the greenhouse there, those are ever-bearing strawberries. So as soon as the snow melts next year, we're going to have a greenhouse that's going to go over the strawberries. And so we're going to have really early strawberries, right? As soon as we don't have to worry about the frost, the greenhouse is going to go off of those strawberries. And they'll trickle along all summer, but then again, come October, the greenhouse is going to go back on those strawberries. And that's more for the store here, because it's not going to be that many strawberries. But it could very well be that there's 6 months of strawberries that come out of this place next year. That's going to create value. That's going to make it, make this place more intensive.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
Let's take a little walk around and actually get away from this air conditioner.